I got to go over to Instagram. We're live on Instagram too. We're gonna try to go live on Instagram.
Oh, cool.
There we go. Go live. Hey, hey, hey. Hopefully you guys can hear us out there.
I doubt it.
We,
It's
I
too
don't know.
easy.
Were you here when the whole Arsenal Football Club thing went down?
No. What?
We had a live chat. Man, I don't remember how long ago now, but a month ago maybe. And there was a bunch of people that came in. They saw Everyman's Arsenal, and they thought it was a Arsenal Football Club live chat. So we
Oh,
had like
really?
9 guys from the UK come in, start talking about Arsenal Football Club, and so like, oh, I'm gonna do that.
Oh, that's
Someone
awesome.
last chat, they were like, "Wait a minute, did you buy that just so you can screw
Yes.
with the UK fans?" Well, yes.
100%. That's awesome.
Welcome
Ah.
to Everyman's Arsenal live hangout. Good to have you here, dude.
Yeah. Thanks for inviting me back.
I kind of miss. I was telling the viewers a couple weeks ago, I miss doing this. So last week we tried doing YouTube portrait mode, a live chat, just portrait mode, and hot garbage, dude. It was so horrible.
Really?
What's up, Prepper Book Club? It doesn't. YouTube doesn't save that live chat, so you can't go back and watch the vertical live chat on YouTube. Only these ones are saved. Josh is here too. What's up, Josh?
What's you?
And so we are live on X as well. Everyman's Arsenal has their own live chat over there, and then we're also streaming on Instagram. So it's kind of a first for us doing all three. Apparently, you have to pay to be a premium member over on X. So yeah, it was. But Zach is over in Instagram saying, "I can't be in both lobbies." You can if you want to. You just have to have multiple devices. I don't recommend it. Yeah. So how's life? How's life in Colorado?
Good. Crazy. I don't know if everybody's winter is as crazy as ours. Like, it's been January and February, dude. We had like 70-degree days. Like today, for example, I think it was like 65. You know, all the window open on the house. Tomorrow's supposed to be 65, and then it's supposed to be like a high of 36 and snow on Sunday, and then like 70 degrees on Monday.
Yeah. You said something before of like Colorado weather, or at least your side of the mountains, the weather is like it's bipolar or something.
Oh yeah, dude. It always is, but this winter, like the ski resorts are taking a huge hit. Like,
oh, okay.
It's really dry. We've had no precipitation. So
Zach says there's a slight delay on Instagram, like by 2 or 3 seconds. Yeah. So the way that Instagram works is when you go live through the streaming service, you got to go over to Instagram and then hit go live there, but you have to wait until it's live on StreamYard and YouTube before you can do it over there. So there's going to be probably a 2 or 3 second delay.
Lag.
Hopefully, last time we did this, there was a significant delay in the comments. It was like 10 to 15 minutes. So I ended up having to open up another tab to watch the YouTube live so I could see the comments that were coming in.
That's hilarious.
The StreamYard was, and it was kind of funny because I was like, if we get Joe back, I want all of you guys to say, like, this wouldn't be happening over on Eevee Mucks.
But they know it's a lie.
Yeah, that's true.
They know it's a lie.
They do.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. It's been going good. Yeah, you know about the video for the car. So I got the exhaust on the wife's car.
So good. So if you guys don't know, Joe has a channel, Ramatorix. Or is it just Rama now?
I think you can search for it either way. But I think I kept the official Ramatorix. But
yeah. You installed a Corsa exhaust on your Cadillac?
Yeah, the wife's, the Mrs. Cadillac CT4V Blackwing. Yeah. But yeah, just chugging through, dude. Not a whole bunch in the gun stuff, man. I don't know. I kind of I know I'm gonna get chastised for this, and everybody could be like boo and throw popcorn and stuff at their devices and unsubscribe. But I kind of ran out of things to buy, man. And Colorado about to pass this new stupid law where you have to anything that they deem like dangerous or whatever, which is
Yeah.
pretty much anything that's a semi-auto and accepts detachable magazines. You have to like get a permission card, I guess, and the best way to
Oh, kind of
describe
like
it.
how they did in California, where you have to have a card that. What is it for everything, or just pistols
Anything?
you're carrying?
No. It's not that. It's different than all of that. So you have to like go through a course, right? And get
Okay.
like what kind of what you would think of as a concealed carry permit, right? So
Okay.
you have to go through training, you have to go to whatever law enforcement, you have to apply for them. They do all the background check and stuff, and then they give you like their card. And I guess that's what allows you to buy semi-autos with detachable magazines. And that could be anything, dude. That could be a shotgun, it could be a pistol, it could be a rifle, it could be anything.
Well, and even does caliber matter? Because like there was
No.
kind of a loophole here in Washington where, because I believe the language said center fire, so rim fire 1022s didn't count. So I could still get a 1022.
Honestly, I'm so mad about it that I'm purposely not following it. Because my
Yeah.
wife doesn't want to move from the state and all of our family lives here, so I get it.
Yeah.
So like I don't
Yeah.
know.
I mean, I'm
I'm
kind of in a similar
purposely
boat
not.
where I have, my wife and I have talked a lot about what would it take. I've had those conversations with her. Like, okay, at what point I'm ready to move? Like, at what will it take for you to finally say, okay, like let's do it? So some things that we're struggling with right now. We had my daughter, my oldest was T-boned. It was I don't know, a year ago now or something, but she still has medical issues and seeing a chiropractor and things like that. And the law office that we were dealing with said today, like, hey, we can't talk to you anymore because she's 18 now. She has to be the one to release her own medical records, and they can't go through the parents at all anymore. And I get some of that. Like once you're an adult, there's some responsibility that you have, but it's like, dude, I'm paying for all of her medical treatment, and I'm the one that's taking her to her appointments if she's passing out, or taking her. There's a lot of care still that I'm providing,
Yeah.
and I can't even know, like, is she getting better? Is she getting worse? What's going?
Well,
Like,
you can. She just has to give you a power of
yeah,
attorney.
yeah, or
Yeah.
talk to me. It's
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have one
She
of
can
those
tell you.
angsty teenagers that's like, when I turn 18, I'm moving out of this house because you guys are too restrictive.
Yeah.
Um,
I
I'm like,
was
cool.
that
There's
teenager.
a door. There's a door. Have at it.
Yeah. That's hard, man. Yeah,
Zach
so I
says,
don't know, dude. Before that crap hits, I think I'm just gonna go down and order, I don't know, like 4 lowers or something. I
yeah.
don't
Zach says the crap part is a law enforcement agency can still deny you your permission card even after you've paid your money and taken the course, and
yeah.
there's no refund. I'm sure,
Oh,
right?
dude, there's no nothing.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example, Jason. I'm sure I'm like a lot of people that watch this. I I was really hopeful, right? I don't want to get too political, but I'm really hopeful with a new administration and Bruin, and back
Yeah.
rewind some of the video 2 years ago, and I was super energetic about all this, and they just found ways to not allow anybody to do anything. And when you try to call them on their BS and you try to sue them and you try to do all this, nothing happens. So case in
Yeah.
point, New Mexico and Colorado are in the same circuit, right? 10th circuit. And New Mexico had a huge loss. They had a huge loss. And the 10th circuit said that the waiting period where you have to wait X amount of days, I think down there like 10 days or something drastic.
Yeah.
But the waiting period was absolutely unconstitutional. The 10th Circuit ruled on that and said that it was unconstitutional, right? That was in
Yep.
like, I think December. Guess what we still have in Colorado?
Oh, a waiting period.
Yeah. So how did the 10th Circuit over both states rule that it's unconstitutional and they're still allowed to do it?
Yeah.
Like it's already been it's no longer an argument. It's already been
Yeah.
ruled unconstitutional. If you don't like that answer, you have to take it to the Supreme Court and wait. What are we now with somebody in Banta?
Years,
9
dude.
years? You have to
Yeah.
wait 9 years to get a ruling. So I should be able to go into a store and buy a gun and walk out with it the same day because they ruled it unconstitutional. They already did it, dude.
Yeah.
They already did it. Like I'm so fed up with it. I know I'm going off on a tangent, but
No, no, no. I
sorry.
mean, the nice thing about not being not being thin line defense is that, dude, if we wanted to talk about this stuff, we can. I mean, this is this is a hangout. This is us to vent and talk about all of
Yeah.
our woes and frustrations. And dude,
But we did
there's
have gun owner did have a win recently. You heard about the DC
yeah, the
stuff,
DC is
something
it the
versus yeah,
magazine ban.
yeah. So
And
maybe that'll give us our split decision that we needed to get Bonta back up there. And but the Supreme
there's just
Court has shown time and time again they're not going to take on another 2A case. Not after what happened with Bruin. I don't think
yeah.
they'll take on another one.
Well,
Dude.
it's frustrating too when these states will have, and they straight up call them, like a Bruin response bill.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, the Supreme Court said this, so how can we craft the language in a way to make this, to fit within the guidelines that Bruin says, but still have us get
Right.
what we want. And a lot of
Oh,
times they
I
just
have an idea. Oh, sorry, dude. I'm cutting you off.
well, it goes in the face of what, what they're trying to do. Like
Yeah.
the Bruin wasn't telling the states, hey, if you can find a way around this, do it. Let's
Right.
see if you can find some loopholes. Well, it should have been a very strict interpretation of going
Yeah.
back to the histories and traditions of
Right. But when they fail to take any case directly against what they already ruled, then they
yeah,
show everybody that it's not a true ruling. Right.
yeah,
In my
yeah,
opinion. All my
yeah,
opinion.
yeah. It's super
Case
fair.
in point, all they did, what your state or the one below you, all they did was change the definition. All they did was say what verbiage did they use? In common use for self defense.
Yeah,
They added verbiage at the end of it. And it's like, oh, I didn't know that
I
the
think that was
Second
California.
Amendment only applied to. I thought it was Washington
It
or
might have
Oregon.
been. I mean, dude, there's so many
Right.
of these
And
bills that it's just they kind of wash
Colorado
together.
jumped on board,
Yeah,
And I know people that know people that have friends that, are more liberal. And like he's taking the guy out shooting now, I think this weekend, because the guy like, oh no, I really need to go buy something before they pass this bill. It's like,
yeah,
you mean the bill that you believe in? Like you
yeah.
believe in this stuff. And
Zach
now you're
says the
having to run
original
out and get something to circumvent it.
right. The original sin was the SCOTUS decision that allowed the states to pass legislation in direct opposition to the Second Amendment. Yeah. It's
It's
interesting
the
because
only amendment that they do it on, dude. It's
yeah,
the only amendment. Kind of freedom of speech. Like I said, I can get down with some limitation on stuff, right? Like you don't have the freedom of speech to run into a crowded theater and yell fire, right? That's always the analogy
yeah,
or the example that get given. So I kind of understand some of it, dude. But fourth and being. Did you see the ruling for the Montana case?
mm-mm.
Oh, dude,
What was that case
I don't
about?
want to misspeak. I'm gonna butcher this, but it was Colts or something with a C, maybe somebody will say it. V Montana, and the gist that I kind of understand. Like I know 2% of this, so please do your own research. But something about the police officer acting in the community caretaker function and not
Oh,
as a police officer. So
yep.
went into a house because they knew that the guy had firearms and they didn't have a search warrant. And
So
the
here's
courts ruled that entry into the house was okay because he was working under the community caretaker and not as a cop.
Yeah.
I thought I was taught Fourth Amendment that it applied to government, not what role the government was playing.
Yeah. So here's the case. It's kind of interesting. It's Case versus Montana.
Okay.
Um, and this is the U.S. Supreme Court unanimously ruled that police may enter a home without a warrant if they have an objectively reasonable basis to believe an occupant is experiencing a medical emergency, such as a suicide threat, even if that belief does not rise to probable cause.
Yeah.
Dude,
So
how
they don't even
crazy
have to
is
have
that?
probable cause. They can have reasonable articulable suspicion, which
They can
you
go
and I
into your
both
house.
know the lowest level, and they can go into your house for committing suicide, which isn't a crime.
Yeah.
Now, I understand extenuating circumstances, right? They're the three big one to get into a house. There's destruction of evidence, there's fleeing felon, and there's risk of serious bodily injury or death, right? I
Yeah.
understand that, but the way that that's worded, they don't even have to have probable cause, dude.
So here's the thing, it says, while intended to prevent suicides, critics raise concerns regarding the sanctity of the home as discussed by Constitutional Accountability Center and the North Carolina Criminal Law blog.
No more your
Rabbit's in the
castle,
house. What's
dude.
up, Rabbit?
Yeah,
But that's like, okay, so now I'm thinking of these red flag laws, and what would it take for someone to say, I think Joe's crazy, right?
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
hey, this cop has reasonable suspicion
yeah,
that Joe might be crazy.
yeah.
I can now go into his house. And
So,
now that they've opened that up, now that they've allowed this, imagine this, right? Someone comes and does a no-knock entry into your home, a police officer, and you know as well as I, how many times do police not announce themselves?
mm-hmm,
So you think someone's breaking into your house,
yeah,
you shoot at the person that you think is breaking into your house, but because he now has a right to be there in the eyes of the law, you now
charge
well,
of
dude,
murder.
if you kill him, it's murder of a police officer. But even if you
Mm-hmm.
don't kill him, it's assault against a police officer
Yeah,
because they had
yeah, or
every right to
attempted
be there.
murder is more than assault because you
Yeah,
have a
yeah.
firearm. And on top of that, how many times have we seen video security camera of burglar, thieves, people that want to
Oh,
do bad, dressed in cop attire, yelling police?
so Zach brought up a good point. If a police officer is not acting in a police officer capacity, then that person would no longer be covered by qualified immunity. That's an
Mm,
interesting twist to it.
yeah, but you know that they're going to be qualified. That
Yeah,
one good thing about Colorado, we don't have to deal with that anymore. They strip. Well, you can't sue the feds anyway, so they're out. But
yeah.
they stripped all qualified
Uh,
immunity in Colorado.
there was a case I can't remember what it was. I want to say it was in Wisconsin or Missouri or something like that, where um the cops were in the wrong on an arrest, and the guy sued him. It was a civil rights violation, whatever it was, and the
Mm-hmm,
court had stripped the cops of qualified immunity.
mm-hmm,
There's times where that happens, and you're like, all right, that's a win. In my opinion, it's a win.
mm-hmm.
If the cops acted,
Negligently.
wrong,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
then
yeah,
they should be held accountable.
yeah,
Um, but there's times where it's like, oh, dude, you look at the facts and the cops act wrong, and the courts grant them qualified immunity. That's
yeah,
frustrating.
yeah. A lot of that's going away, luckily. Um, yeah, and
What are
another
feds?
point on that is how are they going to interpret it, right? So,
Yeah,
and to me, it doesn't. To me, I hate the final outcome of any of this, right? Because, like I already said, if the feds do it, you have no recourse. You can't do anything about it. You just SOL. Like they can throw you in jail for 6 months, completely violate every right that you have, right? For 6 months, and then go, oh, sorry, and let you out, and you really have no recourse. With state, you can. It's a civil rights 1983 claim. You have that, right? But I hate when things go that way. I
yeah,
hate I hate when the answer is we'll sue them, right?
yeah,
No, they shouldn't have been stopped. Like when a police officer pulled you over, do you know why I pulled you over? You're speeding, right? Whatever. You're going
yeah,
10 over. Do you have a firearm in the vehicle? And somebody says yes, right? We'll just pretend somebody said yes. and they seize your gun.
Yeah.
Like you don't have the right to take my gun. And they're like, oh, officer safety, officer safety. It's because how they're interpreting everything,
Yeah.
right? You watch
And they're
First
gonna
Amendment
interpret it
audits
as broadly
in
as
the most favorable to them.
yeah.
You watch First Amendment audit and somebody recording the police station, they come out, give me your ID. Like
Yeah.
you have to have reasonable articulable suspicion that I'm committing a crime. That's Terry versus Ohio. We all know that one,
Yeah.
right?
Or about to commit a crime.
Right. About to, am, or just did, right?
Yeah.
Commit a crime. That's Terry versus Ohio. And
Yeah.
the cops will always say, I do have suspicion. You're being suspicious.
Yeah.
Like, no,
Well, what
of a
yeah,
crime.
so
Of
I
a
love
crime.
I love when they say, the cops will be like, "Well, you're suspicious," and the guy usually will ask, "Is that a misdemeanor or a
Yeah, or
felony?"
felony, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they can't but they'll do it anyway. I'm going off on a tangent. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
hate police. I hate bad policing. I hate ignorant and uneducated police officers. Um But now equate that to now they can come into your house. All of that stupid BS, and they can come through my front door.
Yep. Without a warrant.
Yeah.
Because
Without
they
even probable cause, dude.
yeah. This
Like,
is so Angry Sarge says, "I, my friend, do not seize guns. I just politely ask them to please keep their hands where I can see them," which is totally fair.
that's good. And honestly, Pennsylvania v. Mims, right? We all know that one. If for officer safety, you can ask them to get out of the car, right?
Yeah. Yep.
But that's not what they do. They order people out of the car because they're feeling hurt or whatever. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Or like
you
you
can
laugh at
separate them
or
for that, right? But like
yeah.
I'm a legal gun owner. I carry in the small of my back. And you want to stop me because I'm recording, right? Or whatever, dude, whatever.
Yeah.
Say I flipped off the cop because I didn't
Yeah.
like what they did and I flipped them off. And you want to detain me. The first thing that they do is take that gun away from you.
Yep. And then
And it's like
dude,
you
again,
can't. You
you and I
cannot
know
separate me from my property unless you can articulate you and to seize my property, you have to have probable cause.
and
But
how
now to come into my house, you don't even
what
have
would
to have
you have
probable
to
cause.
do? What steps would you have to go through to get that gun back?
Exactly, dude. They
Dude,
never give them back, bro.
yeah.
They never give them back.
Rabbit says, I saw a Facebook post earlier. Dude got pulled over for a seatbelt violation. Driver informed the officer that he had a rifle in the vehicle. They confiscated his AR, ammo, knives, and plate carrier because it was concealed and he didn't have a CCW.
Yeah, how it concealed in your car. You know what I mean? That's another good thing about Colorado. Your car is an extension of your home, so it's just like having it in your house. You're fine.
Sarge says ego needs to go out the window. Yeah.
Yeah, it never does, dude.
No, and it's and again, like Joe said, we're not anti-police at all. We're anti-bad policing, and we'll be the first to jump in line and say, dude, that cop did some good. Like you look at the chief that went after that bomber in New York, right? The kid threw the bomb and he immediately jumped the fence and started chasing the kid.
Do you watch Southern Draw Law? Do you like him?
No, I've never watched him.
He done a lot of like video review. I really like him.
Okay.
Plug for him, I guess. But he was a cop. He was a prosecutor. He was a district attorney. Like he went a lawyer, and now he's a civil rights lawyer.
Okay.
And so he done the video review, but he done good cop of the week. I love it, dude.
Oh,
I know some of him viewer are like, oh, it's stupid, and he always said like, if you don't like it, fast forward or whatever.
Yeah.
But he done good cop of the week on his video. Yeah. There's that one cop in Arizona that I always share with you guys that calls all this stuff out. I love him, dude.
You're the one that has all the neck tattoos?
Yeah. He's
I
gonna retire soon, unfortunately, man. He's one of the good ones.
Well, and it's frustrating too when you hear about, and you've experienced this, where you go to a career and your whole outlook is, I want to better my community. I want to better the people around me. And you are just shat on and pushed down. And you get to the point where you're like, I don't want to deal with this anymore. Right? Like I haven't been in law enforcement now for over a year. And people have asked me like, do you miss it? No, not really.
Now, if you're a constitution, not the job for you, unfortunately, because that's the people that I want in the job. But
Yeah.
you and I kind of walk the same road, dude.
Yeah, man.
I have my retired B's and C's, and that's where they'll stay. They'll stay retired.
Yeah, I was talking to a
Yeah.
guy retired. He retired from the DO. He was a DCIS agent, and the state is hiring an investigator, and he's like 53, so he's not super old. Um, but he has his military time plus his civil service. He's probably got 30 years in. So his retirement's looking really good. His pension's looking really good. Doesn't need to work. But I figured, man, maybe he's bored. I asked him, like, hey, would you be interested in doing this job? He's like, dude, I retired, man. I don't want to do anything ever. So he's doing like jujitsu 5 days a week. He's doing Muay Thai 2 days a week. He's going out and shooting regularly, like trying to just be better all around.
Yeah.
Um, and I look forward to that day. Like, oh, that's
Yeah.
going to be a nice day.
Yeah. Like,
Sarge says, I stopped a guy yesterday who gave me his license to carry, and I asked him where it was just for my mind's sake. He said, I don't have it. I said, why not? Why have a license to carry and not carry?
yeah. No, I mean, if cops are educated, dude, then that's great. The cops
Yeah.
just say, give me your ID. Well, we ID everybody that we got a call for, like that, dude. So you think that you can violate the Fourth Amendment, and somebody says you're violating my Fourth Amendment, and they're like, that's not the Fourth Amendment. They're like, the right to be secure in my person, paper, and effects. That's not the Fourth Amendment. They're like, I'm asking you for your ID. You have to give it to me. I'm a cop. That's a lawful order. Like those, not the people that watch this.
Yeah.
Those are the people, and they learn from those around them instead of reading on anything. Like if you swear an oath to the Constitution, you should know some of the Constitution. When you
Yeah.
ask people the five freedom and the First Amendment, name three of them, and they can't even tell you what the First Amendment is.
Yeah. It's
Anyway,
tough, man.
tangent.
And one of my things is uh, having younger kids. It's like, how do I teach them to be respectful? Because I still want them to
Mm-hmm.
be respectful to police
Mm-hmm.
officers, and I want them to understand that they do have a difficult job and they do have a dangerous job, and it's some cops have no idea if they're gonna make it home that night. So
Yeah,
there's some respect there.
there
But
is.
when they see so much bad policing in media, how do you this is just a question that I have regularly, like, man, how do I combat that? How do I tell them with a straight face that you need to respect law enforcement, and here's all these good things that cops have done, when
Mm-hmm.
all that's pushed in their face all day long is just cops are bad. Look at all the bad things that cops have done.
Yeah, yeah. And if you want to get controversial, right? Like I know it's late in the game, but we can even talk about all this stuff that's happening in Minnesota and with ICE, right?
Mhm.
Because that's right there on the fence, and people fall either like this is the greatest injustice, right? And those are the same people that were fine with city burning and fine with January 6th people getting arrested, thrown in jail, no due process, and sitting in jail for a year and a half. You know, they're saying that what ICE is doing is completely, illegal. They're like, where's their due process? Like, where's the due process for the January 6th people? But then on the other side of thing, like some of the stuff that ICE is doing is unconstitutional, and I'm going to call it out for what it is. I don't
Yeah.
care if people don't like me for it or what, but stopping somebody just because you want to and forcing them to give you their ID or produce paper, that's Nazi Germany crap, dude. Like, no, I'm not doing that. Like, you're going to have to take me to jail. I'm going to take the ride. I know that you can just get away with when they threaten arrest, then you have your lawsuit for state cops.
Yep.
But I think I'm taking that ride, dude. And where does that break? So like all the hard right people, MAGA or right or
Yeah.
anything on that side, they're chanting and screaming like how great this is. And I don't disagree. Like my personal opinion, and I don't you need to follow the law to get into the country, and if you didn't, then you need to go home. That's my personal opinion. But how it's think of everything that they're doing, right? Going into people's home without warrants, stopping people with no they don't have reasonable articulable suspicion of a crime, demanding paper, doing all this stuff, right? And clearing out entire cities. Now change the facts on why they're doing it. Instead of saying they're going after illegal aliens or illegal immigrants, change it to rare breed triggers.
Yeah.
That's the slippery slope that we talk about all the time. And where all the people are chanting how great this is, you're giving the government so much power and allowing them to do things that the next person that gets in that office that doesn't like a gun or doesn't like something that you do, right? The freedom that you enjoy. Yeah. And people say, "Oh, you're off basis because they're illegal alien. They don't have the same freedom." They're stopping people that they have no idea if they're citizen or not, and they're taking away their freedoms. It's a slippery slope in both ways.
Zach said, regarding teaching your kids, I can't write out the whole message here, so I'll post it on Discord. Thanks, man.
Yeah. Do you know what I teach my kids? Show your hands, be respectful, don't curse, don't yell, don't scream, don't do any of that. And the only answer that comes out of your mouth is, I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent.
Yeah, that's something I've talked to my kid. I mean, I think for those that have been with us for a while, you remember, my son had an issue at school last year.
Yeah.
And so my thing to him is, dude, if I don't care what it is, I don't care if you were standing there, and this actually, you'd be proud of him, Joe. So he was telling me at the lunchroom there was a fight that broke out, and it was like the table next to him.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's like, he watched everything, like the lead up to the first punch, the brawl to the breakup. And one of the vice principals that's over, whatever punishment or something, was like taking statements from the kids that saw everything. And so they were like, okay, we saw on the camera that you saw what happened. Can you tell us what you remember seeing? And his response was, I just won't talk unless my dad's here.
Heck yeah, dude.
And they were like,
that's awesome.
No, you're not in any trouble. We just want to know what you saw. And he was like, yeah, I'm not willing to say anything unless my dad's here.
Yeah.
And it was a back and forth for a couple of minutes. Like, no, you're not. You don't need your dad here. You're not in any type of trouble. It's like, okay,
Dad,
I'm not willing to say anything unless my dad's here. And they were like, okay, I guess you go back to class then.
Nice. Yeah, congrats. Because then when he's 18, he just changes dad to lawyer, dude, and he's got it down.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's funny too, because I was like, dude, tell your friends, if anyone ever has an issue, they're like, I don't want to say anything unless my dad's here. Like, I'll come down, I'll pretend to be their dad. You don't say anything to these people. It's I don't know, man. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Being in school kind of reminds me of hearing about, kind of some of the quote unquote freedoms that the kids give up when they're in school. Kind of reminds me of how it was like living in the barracks. As a kid living in the barracks, I didn't know any better. But looking at it now, it's kind of like, oh, the first sergeant can do a health and wellness inspection of all the barracks of the dorms, and then they go in and they're like, oh, this guy has a bong in his room, right? We can report him we can take it, we can report him to OSI or to security forces or whoever. They don't need a warrant or anything like that. Like, there's certain freedoms that you give up living in the dorms. And so it's similar in school. I was reading up that you don't really have like reasonable expectation of privacy in your assigned locker or in your car if you park it on school grounds. Like, there's some limitations that are there. And it's kind of interesting to see what powers school, principals and vice principals and stuff
have
over some of these kids.
We'll say think they have.
Yeah, they think they have.
Because like look at Florida, like Florida, one of the worst that I know of, only because of Jeff Gray, but Florida, every city, every municipality had city ordinances against panhandling,
Oh
right?
yeah.
And
Yep.
they all thought that they could arrest and it was legal and all this stuff, and they went on with it forever. And now it's been ruled that a charitable appeal for funds is freedom of speech, and you can't
Yeah.
do that.
I
Like you
love
can't do that.
is it Gray?
Yeah,
The
that's
guy
Jeff
that
Gray.
stands up, Jeff Gray,
Yeah.
when he's out there, he's like, "Hey, God bless our homeless
Yep.
veterans," and then people go, "Oh, we thought you were panhandling. You can't do that." And he's like, "Can I have some money?"
Yeah.
he'll ask,
He'll be
he'll
like,
ask
he'll
the
be
cop.
like, even if I
Oh,
was, first he'll say,
yeah,
I am soliciting. And they'll be
yeah.
like, for
Soliciting
money? Like,
goodwill
no, yeah, goodwill and
prayers for
fortune for
our
the homeless. Yeah.
yeah
Yeah. And then he'll ask the cop, like, but even if I was, it's protected. And they're like, no, it's
yeah
not. You're like, okay, officer, can I have some money?
yeah
But he stopped doing that. They have arrested him a couple times.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I'm sure he doesn't go into details, but I know he's won several lawsuits.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah.
That's
It's
probably how he makes a
funny.
living now.
It's funny that one gal, she has very curly hair. I don't know her name. Very, very curly hair.
She's a
But she
First Amendment auditor.
no, she's kind of like a right wing, like she going to the
I know who you're
leftist.
talking about. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know her name, but I know exactly who you're talking about. She's like
Yeah,
She was a girl that when she graduated college, her graduation picture was her holding an AR-15,
something like that, maybe. Yeah, she's like
or it
kind of
was
like a
on
Charlie
her.
Kirk or whatever.
Yeah,
But
okay,
she started going to in the South somewhere. I forget where, but she started going to farmers markets
yep.
because they're in a city park, and they started trespassing and kicking her out. She became a First Amendment auditor, kind of, dude. Like she had to,
Yeah.
and like in 3 weekends in a row, she got like threatened with arrest and kicked out of public parks. It's like you can't do that. You can't do. I'm a
Um,
constitutionalist, so I'll call it like I see it. I mean, normally I
yeah.
fall pretty far on the right, but
Croak
yeah.
says, hey Joe, good to see you. By the way, I'll be in Denver early May to get my camper installed. I'll honk. Listen carefully.
Oh, no joke. Maybe we should do lunch or something, dude.
Yeah, you're going all the way out there. Might as well
Yeah.
take a
Reach out to
shooting.
Jason. He'll forward something to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you wanna connect up, I can make that happen. Croak.
Yeah,
Send me a
dude.
message.
Maybe we should get lunch or something, man.
Joe's
Camper
got
and
nothing
stuff.
going on anyways.
Yeah. Dude, I won't look for excuses to drive the car. May in a trip
Oh
to
yeah.
Denver, dude.
Weather's gonna be
Done.
nice finally.
Yeah, done.
Like guaranteed nice.
Yeah.
We don't dude, we had a super mild winter here. We had like a day of snow and it was gone by the afternoon.
Yeah,
And
dude.
so that I'm worried that the summer is going to be really bad because we had was it last year or the year before we got up to like 108, 118, sorry, 118. It was hot. I remember looking it
Jeez.
up, the weather the day here compared to Qatar, and it was hotter here than it was in Qatar. It was more humid in Qatar, but
hmm
Rabbit Jason, have you sent out those shot swag packages? I have not. I actually found swag from I think it was 2024's shot show, so I'm adding that to it. So you're gonna get a good bundle, but I'm pulling a Walsh. It's been like a month and I haven't mailed those out yet, but I will. I promise.
Yeah, is there? I'm asking to everybody out there. Is there any cool guns that you guys are like? Yeah, man, I really want one of these. The only
Oh,
thing that I really
oh
like,
rail gun.
yeah, dude, I would really like a 3-inch 2011, but they're so expensive
Oh,
and I don't need it that I kind of just say no.
like like a charger.
Huh?
The Ruger, they call them don't they call them a charger?
I don't
There's
know.
really short barrel. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of a 1022. Sorry,
Yeah,
my
no,
bad.
a 2011, like just like a little stub down 2011.
Yeah, Zach says a Chris Vector.
Hmm.
Those are nice, but they're so expensive. They're like
Yeah.
frustratingly expensive. Every time you look at it, like, $1,500.
I'm thinking about building a 7.62 AR and not like the Chincy. I have one, but it's the Chincy like Bear Creek Arsenal. Sorry, charging like
Oh
it's
yeah,
more of a
yeah.
novelty gun. I'm thinking about building like a legit 7.62 by 39 AR.
Do you have an AK?
No.
Dude, you should get an AK, man.
Mm-mm.
You really should.
I'm not an AK guy. That's why I want to build it in the AR platform.
Joshua says, I just want a BCM 14 and a half pin and welded to 16 Kelly boy, but I'm saving up.
Yeah. I'm not dogging on it. I'm not crapping on it. I just never understood the pin and welded 14 to 16. Like, why not jump by a 16 and put a 1-inch muzzle device on it? I'm not dogging on it. That's a really popular build, right?
Doesn't Faxon have one where the muzzle device is like machined into the barrel?
I don't know.
I'm sure someone does. Joshua says, I took your packages when you went looking, Rabbit. When you weren't looking.
Yeah. But that's another Bruin decision that shouldn't even be in existence anymore. Why?
Yeah.
How does that survive scrutiny? What is the
history and
tradition of outlawing a gun based off of the barrel length?
Yeah. It's just that it's, I don't know, dude. It's been around for so long, I guess.
It was in the 30s, and they said they've already come out with the 2-year stamps that it has to be, and way before the 30s. But is it like 18 something and 17?
It's like 1812 or something like that.
Yeah, 1789 or some crap like that, dude. Like
a long time ago.
Yeah.
Joshua says because 16 is less scary than 10.3.
Yes.
Croak says, did I mention I know a guy who talked to a guy that met a guy that saw a guy that just tacked and welded bead on a P&W hole and used rock set instead of actually pinning to the barrel, allegedly. It was in Minecraft. It happened in Minecraft. I've heard people do it with just solder.
Don't do that. I actually, I don't know where I heard it, and I'm pretty sure I heard something that there was actual case law that says even just like welding it like in the hole isn't enough because you can just drill it out.
But you can drill out of
Croak would know.
That's so dumb.
Croak would know. I know.
You can drill out a pin.
Your pizza. Dude, it would probably be acquired.
Well, I mean, I guess if you had the capability to do that, if you had the tools to pin and weld, to do everything above board and pin and weld it, I don't know what would be. It would probably take more time to get it set up in the vise, but I bet you it'd be harder to get it if you use rock set to get it out than if you just drilled it out.
Yeah,
that would.
Yeah, but see, going back to people making the rules, right? Like, if that isn't true, I'm not saying it isn't, but if it isn't true that they ruled that no, it readily available, and you can drill that out and then take off the muzzle brake, so therefore you have a short barrel rifle. Those are the people making the laws, right?
Yeah.
When I can take a sawzall with a metal blade and cut the stupid thing off, I can cut the barrel in half in 1/10 of the time that it took you to drill all that out and have a 7-inch gun. Like, what's readily available or readily able or whatever
readily able. Croak says supposedly they look for a weld and they check torque, and Rockset passes that, and you can overnight soak it if you don't go crazy with the Rockset and take it right off. Allegedly. Supposedly.
Allegedly. Yeah, but why are we even having to talk about this? Why is a 14-inch barrel rifle illegal?
Yeah.
According to Bruin,
I saw someone say If you're afraid of if you're afraid of AR-15s, just buy an AR-10. It's 5 less ARs. But there's people
I
that
like
probably
that one.
believe that.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yep.
scary. And like, did you hear about the law that they passed in Wisconsin banning VPN use in the state of Wisconsin? I think it was Wisconsin. Like, how do you have these people never been on the internet? How do you do that? How do you prevent people from using a VPN?
Mm-hmm.
Or the frickin' law in California. This was crazy. So there's the age verification law that passed in California where people need to verify their age before they can use certain websites or
Mm-hmm.
certain apps on your computer or what phone or whatever. Well, one, you could just lie because there's no
Mm-hmm.
way to verify the age. You just some 10-year-old can say they were born in 1990 and they could get past it. So
Yeah.
that's an easy one, but eventually they're going to do like ID verification and all this stuff. So there's a website. I was watching a YouTube video. This guy was talking about there's this website. All it is, it's a free scientific calculator for honestly for poor kids that can't afford a scientific calculator to take to school. There's a website they go to and it's free to use. Well, this website doesn't have the people are like, we're not willing to invest time and energy to add an age verification for a calculator. And so they just blocked California from going to like people in California can no longer access that website. They can't
Huh.
access that calculator anymore.
That tracks.
Yeah,
That
exactly. It's
tracks.
like, yeah, oh yeah,
But
these
hold
people are
on.
so moronic
You were
that they think
like, you started that by in California, and now I'm really
that,
questioning something.
yeah, sorry.
If you go to like any gun site, do you not have to say that you're over 18?
Yeah, but you just click a box, right? You don't put your
Okay.
age. You just check, say, I'm
I was just
18.
making sure it wasn't just Colorado. I
No, no, no.
I was under
Yeah,
the
yeah.
impression that everybody in the United States had to say yes 50 times when they go on to Palmetto State, right? I just wanted to
Yeah,
make sure that it wasn't
yeah,
just
it's
me.
not just you.
Okay.
Um, Rabbit says, I don't know, readily convertible or whatever kind of goes out the window because of the charges brought against that CRS guy with the Lightning Link card thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a drawing on a piece of metal.
In Kelly, it's over 21. And Croak says, I've hit a few sites that want more, like ID me to verify age. Yeah. I mean, I can see, I've used ID me for like veteran discounts and things like that. And so I can see when you have to do some type of verification of who your identity is.
Yeah.
Um,
But not to verify age. I
yeah,
just
Croak
won't
says
go there.
firearm sites to be specific. Yeah, I haven't been on a website yet that requires you to log in to ID me or to verify your age through something like that before you can view the products. But I don't know. Excuse me. It seems bizarre that they would do something like that. But I mean, I shouldn't be
It's forced.
surprised. I don't think any of us are surprised when stuff like that happens.
No, I'm just losing all faith.
Yeah.
It's just funny because I've said it a million times, right? But they're taking law-abiding citizens and turning them into criminals. And
Overnight.
everybody that is not a criminal, right, or just didn't get turned into a criminal, they don't care. But eventually, it's going to affect you too. Eventually, you will be the criminal. Like
Well,
that. Like
yeah.
overnight, you can't use a VPN. So, like, people, jobs require you to have a VPN
Yeah.
in order to get on their share drives and blah, 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 right?
Yep.
Like,
Like there's if you were to do this, I mean, honestly, let's think of the repercussions. No more working from home because like you said, like I have to log in. I'm a remote employee. I have to log into my agency's share drive, whatever, to be able to access some of the databases that we use.
yeah,
That goes out the window. I mean, that
yeah,
is a VPN that I'm using.
yeah,
So it's bizarre, dude. Bizarre.
it is.
Rabbit says, if any website would make me give them my ID to access the site, I'm just never going to that site again.
Mm-hmm.
Croak says Florida has porn age restrictions now. Pornhub said "F you" to Florida. Oh, Rabbit says, aren't they pushing 3D printer companies to make it so you can't print anything firearms related? Yeah, I think there's something like, even if you have, if I were to go on, the law hasn't, I don't think it goes into effect until next year. But let's say I go on and I download, I don't even know, I haven't read it to know what is considered bad, but let's just assume that a frame, a P320 frame is bad. I don't even have to print it. Just having the file on my computer is a violation of the law, and
Mm-hmm.
they can then come and arrest me, I guess. I
Right.
mean, from Montana, it seems like they
And
don't even need that to come into my house.
right. And let's rewind back to my comment about Nazi Germany. I know that people on the far right are not going to like any of my comments tonight, but back to Nazi Germany crap, like, oh, you have a book in your house, then you die, right? That is
Yeah,
not far off from what you just explained, dude.
yeah. Rabbit says you can't stop the signal. Josh says, "Spicy Joe, let's go."
Yeah.
Dude, I mean,
Yeah.
the nice thing is, it says derail. Dude, there's been no rail here.
Yeah. We don't even
Zach,
know where the train's at, dude. We don't even know where the damn train is.
what kind of books? I mean,
Exactly.
fair question. But you're right. I mean, it's definitely, and this goes back to a question I talked about before that I bring up with my wife somewhat regularly, of when is enough enough? Like, when are you going, what law would have to pass, or what would have to happen to our kids or us, whatever, for you to finally say, okay, that's it, or let's move. And at that point, is it going to be too late?
Yeah.
Is every state going to be in the same predicament?
You're lucky that you can go, what, 2 hours east and
Yeah,
be
probably
in
less
a
than
good
that.
one. Yeah,
Yeah,
be
probably
in a
2
good
hours, yeah.
state.
Yeah, and we own a house there. I've even thought about, like, is it possible for me to get my driver's license there? And it's not, by the way, it's not
Mm-hmm.
possible.
There's not.
Croak says, after I get that camper, I'll be going all over the country. Can I tell the cops I'm just traveling? Got to get
Yeah,
my
try it.
joined, or
Try it. Because I don't believe in the far left either.
I'm not
Yeah.
driving, I'm traveling.
Yeah, I'm in transit. Yeah. We're all criminals. It's just you haven't got caught yet. I can
Yeah.
guarantee that
That's
everybody
funny.
listening and everybody that watches this has broken a law in the last 6 months and just didn't get caught. We're all
Dude,
criminals.
and it wouldn't be surprising if it was like you might have committed a felony and
Yeah,
not even know about it.
possible.
With the laws that are on
Possible.
the book, and
Uh,
there's so
yeah.
little that we
Answer
know.
me this. I had a person from our corporate office, right, which is up in
Yeah.
Denver, send me an email saying, "Hey, this scanned mail came in to the corporate office for you," and it was mail, all the pages scanned in my name. I didn't give that permission. I didn't give that person permission to open my mail,
Wow. Weird.
but they opened it and then scanned it and then emailed it to me
Yeah,
because it went to the corporate office. That's a
dude,
felony.
yeah, I was gonna say that's a felony.
Yeah, 100%. We're all criminals. It's just you haven't been caught.
Josh, I jaywalked.
It depends. Was there a crosswalk within like 150
Yeah.
yards? That's most states.
Rabbit says definitely didn't break the speed limit while driving without a seatbelt on earlier today. Nope.
Yep.
Brooks says the average American breaks at least 4 laws daily.
Yeah, I don't
Dang.
disagree with that.
I
To
I
include
won.
cops, man.
Yeah, especially cops.
Yeah,
Well,
they're the worst at it.
they're so ignorant on what is the law. Well, what is, yeah, I guess, what is the law and what isn't the law.
Yeah.
Sometimes someone tells, some boss will tell them something and they take that as gospel,
Yeah,
and then
dude.
they believe it for the rest of their career.
I'd be willing to bet. I bet money that 75% of the cops that you walk up to can't tell you the difference between public and private property, because I see it in video all the time.
Yeah.
They're like, "You're on private property." They're in the parking lot of a police station, dude.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
really?
like, really,
Who owns
who
this?
owns this?
The
The
city
city
owns it.
does. So
The county, the
it's
county owns it.
private. It's private. This is government owned. Like,
Yeah.
you,
Dumb.
whew, yeah,
So dumb.
yeah. And ignorant to the law isn't an excuse unless you're a cop. Then it's called qualified immunity.
Yeah. Some of my favorite ones are like there was one where this lady was trying to get an ID from a guy and he demanded a supervisor and the supervisor came up and he was like they talked a little bit back and forth. He was like, "No, I'm not giving my ID."
Mm-hmm.
And the guy was like, "Okay, there's nothing else." The supervisor was like, "All right, there's nothing else to talk about here then." The guy was like, "Am I free to go?" And he was like, "You've been free to go this whole time." "Oh, really? Because she told me I'm
She did. Yep.
detained." But can
I
you
saw
can
that
you
exact one.
like teach her, like coach her? You're gonna learn
Yeah.
today, lady.
Yeah. Wasn't he on like a little scooter or something?
He might have
He
been.
was
I
on a
don't remember.
moped or something, dude. Yeah. I know the exact one that you're talking about. Yeah.
Those
I
are
love watching those.
I love
And
watching
I
those
also
personally.
I love watching the cops doing good too. Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah, yeah. It
But not
happens.
cops in Montana anymore. I thought Montana was a pretty good state, dude.
No, Montana's pretty liberal.
I
Like they
didn't think
have
that, dude.
freaking John Tester is a Democrat. I want to say they've elected him to the Senate like the last 3 or 4 rounds. Maybe he's not there anymore. I don't know. Is John Tester still a senator? Oh, he's former.
Hey, I do, since we're talking about it, I do want to shout out a huge plug to First Amendment Auditor and anybody that just rolled their eyes. I'm going to give the example why. It was a First Amendment auditor, a lawyer, actually, a First Amendment auditor in the state of Florida that did away with the entire no open carry law in Florida. I bet y'all didn't know that because I didn't know that. Jason knows that now because I sent him the video. I
Yeah.
found the actual video on by accident. Had no idea what I was watching until it came its full circle. There's a guy protesting, standing out on the street, a lawyer with a sign, and he had a pistol tucked in the front of his pants, and the grip was exposed. So the cops, of course, any information more favorable to them, said that he was open carrying, and they arrested him. That's the lawyer that challenged the law, and it was ruled unconstitutional, and that's why Florida now has open carry from a First Amendment auditor.
And how many cops
Fact check me.
don't know that?
Yeah, dude, Google it.
There's
Yeah.
well, I'm just saying, like, just in general, that open carries allowed in
Well,
Florida.
It wasn't at that time. You
No, but
mean
I'm
now?
saying now, like today,
Oh
how
yeah,
many
dude.
cops still
Yeah.
stop people
Oh
where
yeah,
you're
it's gonna be
open
terrible.
carrying? That's illegal. You can't do that here.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like, dude, that hasn't been the law in how long?
a year maybe.
Years?
6 months to a year.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, that's
I
not
thought
long.
it's been over that. I thought it's been over a
Mm,
year.
no, I don't think
Okay.
so, dude.
I trust you on the timeline of
I mean,
First Amendment.
my timeline jacked up, but no, it's been about a year that they were
Um,
there was
oh,
that
this is
armed
fair.
fisherman that would open carry when you went fishing because
Oh,
they
yeah,
had
yeah.
a law that you could open carry when you're fishing, hunting, camping, or
Right.
whatever. Yeah.
Rabbit says First Amendment auditing is fine so long as the person doing it isn't being an annoying prick to everyone. That's how you make people hate First Amendment auditors. I agree that that's how people. That's what
I understand.
makes people hate them. But I think it's their right to be an annoying prick if they want to.
Yep. Yep. Just like it's the right for that person with blue hair to stand on the corner yelling "My body, my choice." I don't agree with you, but it's your constitutional right to do it. I'm 100% for it.
There's a plan for somebody to get arrested for a bumped stock / FRT violation, sue, and then the governor can tell the state attorney to not contest the case. Voila, law is invalid.
Yeah,
It's
but
not
that's what
quite
it
a year
takes. That
down.
sucks. Okay,
Yeah,
not quite a year. But that sucks that that's what it takes. And you have to, in order to have standing, you have to put your life on the line, dude. In
yep,
life, I don't mean you're going to die. I mean, you will not live the same life that you thought you would.
yeah,
Look at the guy with the card. What's his name?
yep. The CRS guy,
Yeah.
I forgot his name.
Yeah. He fought the law and the law won, right? That dude down in Florida fought the law and he won. So, yeah, those are true patriots, man. In my book, both of them.
Yeah,
Whether you agree with it or not, I think they're true patriots. More so
yeah.
than super gluing your hand to a Porsche dealership floor, you know. Good job.
Was there a bunch of guys that did something like that on like a F1
Yeah,
track?
yeah,
Did they super
yeah,
glue their hands down?
yeah. They like to do that. There's the people that did it to the Porsche at a Porsche dealership. Porsche
Oh,
dealership didn't close the shut the lights off, set the alarm,
yeah,
and walked out, dude. They were so
yeah.
mad.
Like and then they were complaining that it was like a human rights violation because they didn't
Yeah,
have
because
access to the bathroom.
yeah, they didn't give them pots to piss in or something like that, dude. Yeah,
Like, you morons.
yeah. I mean, you have the right to say whatever you want. I mean, you're right.
Well, and it doesn't make you free of the consequences.
True.
There's going to be consequences that come down, and you're going to, some of them, man, you're not going to be happy with them.
Right.
Well, gents, we have been at this for over an hour. My son, I know I started late. I was supposed to start at 6 Pacific time. We didn't start till 6:30, but I need to pick my son up from lacrosse.
Oh,
So we're gonna wrap this up, gents. We appreciate you guys being here. Any last words,
no,
Joseph,
no.
before
Thanks
we
for
get out of
having
here?
me on again.
Dude, yeah, and so this is something we're gonna do every 2 weeks. Um, I doubt we're gonna see a lot of Walsh on here. Maybe we can get him on once or twice, but I'm gonna be sending invites to Joe and Cody every 2 weeks when we do this. So it's always nice having someone else on here to talk to. So it's just not me yelling at the air.
Screaming at clouds, like Will says. I actually use that saying quite a bit
Let me.
because there's a crazy guy that walks in front of our plant that yells at clouds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Croak has a question. It's got 3 hours left and it's looking really good. No problems yet. So I appreciate the help with that, man.
What?
All right, guys. We appreciate you being here. We're gonna be here in 2 weeks. So that's gonna be the 27th, Friday the 27th. And we'll try to be on time this time. We'll see.
We'll see.
All right, gents.
Maybe.
We'll see you guys later. Adios. Oh, I could do this. There's an outro video. Hold on, I'm gonna try this. All right. See you guys.